Hey, I'm Dr. Charles from Lifeboost Coffee. If you're like millions of people all across the globe, you start each day with a cup of coffee, creating that energy boost to get your morning started. Not to mention those of us who just enjoy the great taste. The thing is, that boost we get from coffee is due to caffeine, which can have both positive and negative effects on the body. In this video, I want to take a closer look at the top 3 pros and cons of caffeine consumption and what we should know in order to make informed decisions about your everyday health. If you want more information about the science behind caffeine's overall effects as well as additional health benefits than what I cover today, we cover everything in depth on our blog on lifeboostcoffee.com. Just follow the link in the video's description. To start, it's important to understand what caffeine is and how our bodies process it. Caffeine is what we would call a stimulant. The good news is that caffeine found in the coffee is completely natural and is not a manufactured stimulant. On average, an 8-ounce cup of coffee contains about 95 milligrams of caffeine, and a single shot of espresso contains roughly 64 milligrams of caffeine. As you enjoy your cup of coffee or your shot of espresso, the caffeine in your preferred brew soon makes its way to your gut, where it's easily absorbed into the bloodstream. Once in the bloodstream, caffeine is broken down by your liver into compounds which have varying effects on your overall organ function. The most notable effects of caffeine pertain to your central nervous system, primarily your brain. Caffeine is considered a psychoactive substance as it stimulates your central nervous system by blocking the neurotransmitter in your brain called adenosine. Adenosine works by relaxing your brain, which makes you feel tired and drowsy. Throughout the day, the levels of adenosine can accumulate in your brain, making you feel increasingly tired. What do we do when we start feeling sleepy amidst our busy days? We reach for caffeine. The caffeine we consume then connects to the adenosine receptors in your brain without activating them, blocking their intended function and keeping you from feeling their effects, such as sleepiness. However, while your brain is a primary target of caffeine's functional abilities, as this organ is part of the central nervous system, the effects then ripple throughout your entire body. So the important question at this point is, what are those effects, and do they benefit your body, or do they bring detriment to the function? Let's take a look at the top 3 positive effects that caffeine can have on your overall health. The first benefit to be aware of is that caffeine can boost brain function. When caffeine blocks adenosine, as we mentioned earlier, this causes a chain reaction whereby levels of other molecules tasked with signaling throughout the brain begin to increase. These changes that take place can improve alertness and short-term recall, as well as decrease your risk of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and general cognitive decline. Another major benefit caffeine can have is its ability to improve your mood. The limbic system is responsible for controlling your mood, even your overall mental well-being. This system is housed within your brain, the area where caffeine's function is most concentrated. As mentioned, caffeine works to block adenosine, thereby increasing dopamine levels in your brain. Dopamine is often referred to as a happy hormone, as this chemical helps you feel good. Caffeine causes spikes in dopamine, which has led to the stimulant being associated with the ability to improve mood, even lowering the risk of depression and suicide in some individuals. The third positive effect that caffeine has that I want to cover today is the ability to improve your liver and your colon health. Caffeine consumption works to stimulate the gastrocolic reflex, essentially causing muscle contractions in your colon, promoting healthy bowel movements. Some claim that coffee enemas can increase levels of glutathione to support your body's natural liver detoxification abilities. And coffee has been long known to lower the risk of fibrosis or cirrhosis of the liver, as well as liver cancer. And with these benefits, they're likely being attributed to its caffeine content. In addition to improving brain function, mood, colon, and liver health, caffeine has a lot of other health benefits as well. These can include increase in athletic performance by helping you fight fatigue and allowing your body to better use fat as fuel, which can also have a positive effect on metabolism, increasing it up to 11%, with overall fat burning being known to increase as much as 13%. Caffeine also provides headache relief in some cases by restricting blood flow and causing a narrowing of the blood vessels. Even more notable is the research connecting caffeine to decreasing the risk of heart disease, as well as potentially aiding in diabetes prevention. Unfortunately, for all these health benefits, caffeine, like most things in life, does have a tipping point. Too much of a good thing can become bad. And for some individuals, there's not even a tipping point, as any amount of caffeine consumed can have negative effects on the body. Generally speaking, the healthy range for caffeine consumption peaks around 500 milligrams, which translates to roughly 5 cups of coffee. However, some people may find they can tolerate more, and others may find that this stimulant negatively affects the body even in smaller doses. One big concern many have when consuming caffeine centers around the fact that caffeine is indeed a stimulant, and stimulants can become habit-forming. In other words, you can become addicted to caffeine. When caffeine is consumed in large amounts over a large period of time, addiction can occur, even leading consumers to experience withdrawal symptoms when abstaining, such as headaches, fatigue, irritability, cravings, low energy, and more. Another negative side effect to be aware of when it comes to caffeine is the potential for complications in pregnancy. Because caffeine is absorbed into the bloodstream, in pregnancy it can cross the placenta, increasing the risk of miscarriage, causing abnormal fetal heart rate, and low birth weight. Most healthcare professionals recommend keeping caffeine consumption of less than around 200 milligrams a day while pregnant. A third negative of caffeine consumption can be experiencing an increased heart rate. As mentioned, caffeine is a stimulant, and many people describe feeling the jitters when consuming too much caffeine. A sign you have of too much caffeine in your system can be noticing the increased heart rate, experiencing dizziness, restlessness, or even tremors. Caffeine has also been linked to increased anxiety, disruptions in sleep, and even in some cases hormonal disturbances such as increasing levels of testosterone and estradiol. Just like with the health benefits of caffeine, there are negatives, and too much of anything can cause unwelcome side effects. So, what's a coffee lover to do? Coffee naturally contains caffeine, and we love caffeine's benefits to our bodies. But it's important to be intentional and informed when consuming caffeine. I want to leave you with 2 simple tips which can help you get the most out of your morning cup of coffee while minimizing the negative side effects. While it might be hard to believe, experts say we actually don't need caffeine at the moment our feet hit the floor upon waking. So try to delay your morning coffee ritual by roughly an hour so your body naturally produces cortisol, your resident energy booster. Once you do have that first, second, or third cup of bliss, if you find your body teetering towards reaping the cons of caffeine more so than the pros, switching to decaffeinated coffee either from the start or midway through your day can still bring many of coffee's benefits without potential detriments of caffeine. If you want to learn more about the pros and cons of caffeine as well as how to get the most health benefits out of your morning cup of coffee, take a look at our blog at lifeboostcoffee.com.